Welcome to Wrestling Over Everything, everybody. We are a very funny wrestling podcast out of the Central Valley of California. My name is Andrew. That's Dusty.
Hey.
Follow us on, subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on the TikTok. Those are the ones that we're posting the most to. Dusty's on Blue Sky, getting right after it. You just look up Wrestling Over Everything. You'll find us, the blue logo. And we're also on Twitter, but I don't really do anything on there. So just TikTok, YouTube. I'd say TikTok and YouTube and Blue Sky. So today we got a few things we want to do. We are towards the end of the show. We are going to review what at one point in my life was my favorite wrestling match of all time. We will reveal whether or not it still is. Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio at Halloween Havoc 1997. Shut up! Sorry, my cat won't stop meowing at me.
He wants that phantom replica that you bought for him so he can wear it and be on the podcast. And you're not. you didn't put it on him, and he's upset about it.
He's so pissed. As soon as I said "shut up" and turned around, he started sharpening his claws on everything that he knows he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do the Eddie and Rey Mysterio at Halloween Havoc 1997. It's gonna be fun. But first, there was a pretty big wrestling show this weekend, Dusty.
A really big show.
Yeah,
turns
it was a pretty
out
big one.
Yeah,
pretty big one.
This weekend past obviously was SummerSlam, which since 1988 has been dubbed the biggest party of the summer. Andrew, every other party you went to fails by comparison to be as big as SummerSlam.
Was Kid Rock there, dude?
And not this year. I'm sure.
Kid Rock's always going to be at the biggest party of the summer.
If I dug through, I'm sure Kid Rock has been at a SummerSlam.
To a SummerSlam?
Yeah, at least one SummerSlam.
He's probably performed at a SummerSlam.
I believe his song at least was played for the Biker Taker at a SummerSlam.
He did a cold open one year.
Of course he did.
Inside Ford Field. Oh, Detroit.
Yeah,
Detroit. What? Detroit.
Till I die.
Shout out to Eminem.
So the party of the summer this year took place in East Rutherford, New Jersey at MetLife Stadium, where they always want to make you think that they're in New York. The shot is always first. Hey, it's New York City. Hey, we're in New Jersey.
Yeah, they're probably playing Alicia Keys.
Yeah. This is near the concrete jungle.
We're in the concrete jungle.
Night 1, 53,161. Night 2, 60,561. That's 113,722 people. According to the WWE's numbers. I hate
how much of a good financial decision it is to make SummerSlam 2 days.
Yeah, well, I mean, it also, I guess we'll get to it shortly. It does somewhat make it a more enjoyable viewing experience too. Because imagine if this were in one night. Remember those marathon WrestleManias we used to watch?
Listen, I agree with you, but you know what my solution would be? Not everybody's got to be at the Granddaddy. You know what I mean? Like we get you pay a ticket, you get 5 banger matches. We're out of here in 2.5 hours. Say hi to your mother for me. You know.
This is the Andrew Idell entertainment strategy.
There's a reason Canadian Stampede's the greatest pay-per-view ever made.
I can't argue with that. All right, so we're gonna go. Do you want to go through the results and then we'll do thoughts? Do you want to just do thoughts? How do we?
Listen, do we have to say the results for every one of these?
I don't think we need to.
There's so many matches. You guys, listen. There's a Wikipedia page. Go check out the results. We're going to talk about some of the biggest matches on here, but we don't have to go match for match, and I'm not going to tell you which ones I don't care about. You know?
Yeah, you'll have to figure it out. So one of my big takeaways is I was so wrong on the booking of this show. I texted Andrew. I got so many of these matches wrong.
Yeah, and I forgot to tell you. We recorded a breakdown, Dusty's predictions, Dusty's breakdown of the card. I didn't release it, so it is not publicly known. but Dusty did
No, then guess what?
bomb.
I swept it. No one will
got 'em
ever
all
hear
right.
it.
He got
Dude,
him all right. He even knew Lesnar was coming back.
Yeah, that's right. I had inside intel. No, so night one, I really thought like this is a match that you could give Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, give them a win, make them dangerous. And it doesn't hurt Roman Reigns or Jey Uso. I thought this was the best match of night one by a mile. I think this was a really good match. And I was surprised they don't want to beat Roman or Jey. But if you don't have strong heels, why do I care about your baby faces?
Yeah, I think they don't want to beat Roman yet. I think that's the biggest one. I don't think they would have mind beating Jey yet.
Guess who's there?
Point.
Jey Uso. Just
I know.
That's
yeah, that's
cheat.
true.
Cheat. God damn it. Yeah. Like make it some bullshit.
Maybe they didn't want the whole stable to have belts like Braun and Bronson with freaking now Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
But I don't like Bronson Reed very much. He's like a sweaty tubby guy who like he's very clearly trying to get something over. He just wants to have something that's over. Like he's constantly looking into the crowd and trying to yell a catchphrase or like doing a pose, like trying to get the whole crowd to do something. And I understand that's part of the game. You're trying to sell T-shirts out there. Yeet for some reason has taken over the wrestling world.
I'll tell you this. Stealing Roman Reigns' shoes and wearing them like a necklace and calling it the shoe of Fala, pretty funny.
That's a funny that's a funny gimmick. I'm into that, and I love Braun Breaker. And listen, maybe it's good that I don't like Bronson Reed. He's supposed to be a bad guy. I'm supposed to not like Bronson Reed.
That's very true. Yeah. So also Sami Zayn beats Karrion Kross. I know Karrion Kross is like in a contract situation. They don't know if they're going to renew him. I like Karrion Kross outside of the ring. Find a very interesting personality. Like he's cut some good promos and stuff. His wrestling does almost nothing for me.
Listen, I don't know a lot about the outside of the ring thing with this guy. He seems like another freaking Viking, like bullshit European long haired with a beard and my girl's got spikes on her shirt character.
Yeah,
how many guys like talk with their fists? Like why can't we just have normal dudes out there? That's my problem.
I think like his promos are like he's the smartest guy in the room all the time. Like he'll do something that seems like it's not to his advantage, and then he'll smile afterwards and be like, "All part of the plan."
I like that. Like I said, like I am assuming things about this guy.
No. That's what I'm saying is I like that stuff, but then that guy's got to win sometimes. The guy who's smarter than everyone should be able to figure out a way to win some of these matches. And like we said on the preview that never came out, you could beat Sami Zayn 1,000 times. I don't endorse beating Sami Zayn 1,000 times, but you could. Like he's crazy over. I think he's one of the best guys they got, but you have to have credibility for your bad guys, which I also have a point of. We didn't really get on night one. So, and then I guess the biggest thing, Jelly Roll didn't win. So happy that Jelly Roll didn't win.
And Dusty did guess that he would win.
I did guess because he's a celebrity, but they did the right thing. Logan Paul beat him. Hilarious.
Look at this. Hold on, real quick. Half the roster has that visual. Like every new wrestler nowadays looks like that to me.
Sure.
I'm showing a picture of Karrion Kross, and what was his girlfriend? Is it girlfriend or does she just go to the ring with him?
I think that is his wife, Scarlett.
Okay, yeah, and attractive girl. He looks like an extra mean Adam Cole, baby, and like he's just like long hair, beard, spiky things, weird like Tron inspired lines on everything. Like it's just like let's just be a dude, man.
Yeah.
I prefer jeans. Go out in jeans if you're gonna do that. Go out in just khaki, like cargo shorts. That's more interesting.
Look like you work at Best Buy.
Than like Sons of Anarchy meets Vikings. That's my problem, right?
Yeah, I think he has, like, he's got a character that could be interesting. But you can't just do that. You got to win sometimes. And
Sure,
so,
that's fair. That's fair.
but he never wins.
But
So,
Jelly Roll did some stuff. It was fine.
yeah, it was perfectly fine. Um, then he didn't win. So I'm happy twice. And,
Logan Paul throws better worked punches than like almost the entire roster. Like,
yeah, Logan Paul is
CM Punk
like,
fought in the UFC.
yeah,
really bad worked punches.
we'll get to my guy Phil in a second. But yeah, I was happy with that result. Clearly, it leads to something else. I think Logan Paul is a super talented guy, and as long as Jelly Roll doesn't wrestle anymore, I'm stoked about it. So,
yeah, one and done. Wait, we don't need to see a lot more, Mr. Roll. He bought into it. Like he had his match. He didn't do a bunch of super celebrity stuff. He even got the fake "they're taking me to the back," but no, I gotta ride for my hitter. He got that in.
Yeah, he's the table spot looked a little rough. I mean, I thought they were I thought they were I thought the whole time they were doing the win one for the Gipper thing. But I was like, he might actually be hurt because he's just a dude. Like, he's not
the last splash that he got hit with. When he got into position, that fucking guy was not moving. He was braced for like 10 seconds waiting for that splash to land on top of him.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell, like, his choke slam took forever, and Logan Paul just has
a lot of help.
And Logan Paul just has to stand there while, like, dude has him around the throat. And he has to pretend he can't get out of it. Like, there are
the best choke slam.
No, but like he's not a wrestler, so you get a lot of grace in that instance, and then you don't win, so that's good. Big thing coming out of night one. We got CM Punk beating Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. I thought a pretty good match. Like, the story of the match was very interesting to me. He's clearly watching his Bret Hart tapes. CM Punk is, because he loves, and who among us?
What better tapes to watch?
Right. Who among us couldn't?
Unless he's watching Gunther tapes.
Yeah. And Gunther, I love him. Just a mean bastard. Like, he's the best. He might be the best guy going right now. And I guess he has to go have sinus surgery, which is why they tried to make it look like he broke his nose.
Yeah.
On the table spot, but then his blood came from the suspicious middle of the forehead pro wrestler blood.
Right at the hairline, huh?
Yeah, just interesting.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was a great match, especially for like a modern Punk. Dude, CM Punk, I texted you. Yeah. He wrestles like he was really good at this 15 years ago. Like, nothing looks overly impressive. Nothing really looks like shit, except for some of his punches look really, really bad.
His kicks too. He was never his kicks were never great. And that was like a thing that he insisted on doing was like doing what you would call like bullshit martial arts. Even before he went to the UFC, he would do like Muay Thai style stuff, and it's like, clearly it doesn't look good on you when you do that.
I gotta look this up because I think he trained with Henry Hooft, who's like one of the best striking coaches. He's a Dutch kickboxer.
Well, he was a Winklejohn, right? Jackson Winklevoss, I believe.
No, but I thought he trained in like Milwaukee, where Anthony Pettis trains.
He might have moved camps or whatever. Like, I mean, we could adjudicate it all day long.
If it was Mike Winklejohn, I mean, that's Holly Holmes,
right?
Yeah. MMA coach.
Like, we could adjudicate. Like, we saw his MMA fights. The man is not.
Yeah, he got beat up by a journalist in this.
Cut out for that style of fighting. Like, that has never been CM Punk's strong suit. In
Duke
my opinion.
Rufus, I forgot.
Duke
That's
Rufus,
like even worse. For some reason, I don't know why I got Henry Hooft, but yeah, it's Duke Rufus.
So like, the man can tell a great story in the ring. He can cut a great promo. He understands the psychology of a wrestling match and can put together incredible wrestling matches.
I
I
agree with that
am a
completely. I
huge,
completely agree.
I'm a huge fan of CM Punk
Yeah.
as a pro wrestler in the ring, and you know, like throughout the years, I've enjoyed the man's work. He never looked good when he was
And
trying to do his MMA bullshit.
it's just funny, like the it's claw. You can't say it's clobbering time, and then punch like
and,
that.
and not be able to
Uh,
clobber. Yeah,
yeah, you got to be clobbering at some point. Where's the
yeah.
clobbering? But
Well, and like Gunther, he doesn't try to do any MMA bullshit. Like he just he chops the shit out of you, and he looks like he could beat you up in a fight, and he doesn't dissuade you of that opinion
what do
by
you think Ric Flair would have looked like throwing a spinning back fist?
yeah.
Probably as bad as fucking AJ Styles looks throwing a spinning back fist.
Yeah.
Or probably,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he'd look like AJ Styles very limp wristed when he does that. It's there's a reason these guys don't do that. But like, and
Yeah.
I understand why the modern guys do it is because the toothpaste is out of the tube. People know what real fighting looks like now. So like,
Right.
you know, you see it start happening with like even Flair. Like Flair did some like working the body a little bit and like doing little punch, and then
Yeah.
you got the Undertaker trying to look like a real boxer. Never
Yeah.
really perfect, but you could tell he actually tried a little bit to figure out how to look like it. But the way that these guys try to do it with mixing in the weird leg kicks and the spinny shit
Yeah.
and all that stuff, it's like, but that's all that's to say. They had a good match, and it was
Yeah.
it was a very good match. It was brutal. The chops were gnarly. I still think the go to sleep sucks, but it's better than his punches, so we'll give him that. And then getting Gunther bleeding, which I rewound it and showed my girlfriend. I was like, "See right here, he pretends to hit his forehead." Boom. And I was like, and then he disappears under this table for like
Then
15
weirdly
seconds.
the camera can't find him for about
Yeah.
15 seconds. Yeah.
But it was cool because that like he's not used to bleeding. It's almost like Brock Lesnar in the UFC where they were like, yeah, he's a monster, but he does not like getting hit at all.
Yeah, it's like Gunther plays a coward so well whenever he can no longer be the bully.
Yeah.
Like that's one of his main things is like he sells fear so well, and he sells like being shocked really. Like he's just a great pro wrestler, man. I love Gunther.
I completely agree. He might be my favorite guy. I mean, it's still it's him or Owens, man. Like I
Yeah.
just love Kevin Owens so much. I think Gunther's a better wrestler in the ring. I think Owens is maybe the best promo in the game right now. Still, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
After
like
what Cena did, like Cena shit all over the WWE universe for months and then
yeah,
erased it in 6 minutes.
that's you know. So then the big thing to talk about is after the match, CM Punk celebrating. The Gunther has been vanquished. Seth Rollins music hits,
Yeah.
and Rollins comes out. Were you aware of anything? Like, did you think the knee injury was a work? Did you think that he was going to swerve?
I heard spec. Well, first of all, I heard Bubba Ray did an interview where he's like, "This knee injury, I've never seen anything like it with Seth. Like, it's a weird thing." And so I was like, "Okay, what's going on here?" And then I heard, I think it was from you, told me that there was speculation that the knee injury was fake.
Yeah, I didn't know if I had told you before or after.
I think you told me in the thing that I didn't release. But it was like, you know, and then I think I got both surprises spoiled for me before I saw them.
Yeah,
because I didn't get to finish anything live. But I mean, it was cool, man. Like
I thought they
the
pulled
crowd
it off.
loved it.
Yeah, I thought they pulled it off. There are a couple of things that I probably would have done differently. I would have liked him in a wheelchair, and I would have liked Heyman to have rolled him down to the ring. Only because then like whenever he has a long way to run down that ramp, and Punk can only sell being shocked for so long. Yeah, yeah. So whenever he stands, and then we both love that moment in Willy Wonka where Wilder fucking looks like he's gonna eat it, and he front flips. Like that's what I was thinking of. He throws the crutches down, and then he turns around and he can walk. But then he has to take the knee brace off and throw it. And then he has to like, I thought the ripping of the shirt was like the extra little cool moment
Mm-hmm.
for this. For some reason, that really worked for me. And then they don't waste any time. He beats the shit out of Punk. He hits him with the briefcase a few times, hits the stomp, and wins the title. And I
Yeah,
thought,
because when somebody cashes in, you need them to take advantage of something. Somebody being tired or surprised. Once it gets into a real wrestling match, I mean, you could do a long drawn out thing where CM Punk's exhausted. He already got beat up by, but I think the best thing is get that pop, take
if
that
he
title immediately.
if he would have kicked out of the first stomp, I think that would have been a huge mistake. Like,
Yeah,
you
I
just
agree.
beat him, and then you live in the shock of that moment for a minute. Like, even though I had it not spoiled, but wrestling podcast I listened to, the main guy on it was like, I've heard that it's a work. I heard that they're doing a SummerSlam angle, so I had that in my mind. But I thought executed perfectly. It robs CM Punk of the moment of him finally getting the belt back. It helps make Rollins even more of a heel. It gives a story for them going forward. Like, I really well executed. I thought it was
Yeah, and
great.
I think it's great that they're fucking with Punk like this. Like I think it's like not make him more interesting because he is interesting. He's a part of wrestling history. He's a very important figure. He left
Yeah.
for a while. He came back. He's had these dreams forever. Like I think that one of these years they're gonna give him that like a true WrestleMania main event, and he goes over and wins the title, like maybe in April. But
Yeah.
every time you screw him, it makes that future moment a little bit better.
Well, and
So
and as soon as you put the belt on him, you're fighting the tide of the crowd starting to boo him. Like, because that's just the natural kind of way that it goes, you know.
and that'll come back. I'm gonna write down a note because I had an idea for how the Cody thing could go. Um,
Uh, so then night two, my match of this night was Naomi versus Rhea versus Io Sky, which I think on the preview that no one will ever hear, I said might have match of the night.
real quick though, we
Oh
skipped
yeah.
over one thing. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I
sorry. Go
apologize
ahead.
for. I should have gotten this earlier. I talked too much shit about Charlotte Flair, man. Like,
Oh yeah, that's right. You came back around.
yeah, and I like because I like Alexa Bliss is fine. She's tiny. It's hard. But
Yeah.
the hair is too much. Like what's with this thing that they do where somebody has like a normal gimmick and then they turn them into something else and then that's just them forever. Like how long is Bailey gonna have this hair? Like
Right.
it's like she was just like the I'm a hugger thing. She doesn't have to go back to that, but like she's a
Right.
normal person, the most over babyface woman maybe they've ever had, right? I think people started to get a little bit of fatigue eventually, for to be fair, but it's like, and then she became a heel for like seemingly 20 years,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
then she's back to being a babyface now, and people are already saying like it might be time to turn her back, like it might be, and
Yeah.
it's like, why do we have to just push people toward like Alexa Bliss has been this weird Bray Wyatt centered like directionless weirdo for so long. It's like, but
Well, it's weird that she's not in the Wyatt Six, considering that she's doing her Bray Wyatt gimmick. I think it's one of those things for a few reasons. I think it's like it probably sells a lot of merch, and I think it's like a tribute to Bray Wyatt. So I don't know. I don't think she wants to switch it, even though I think she was gone for a long time. So like when she comes back and she's doing the exact same character, but she's not in the group that's doing that version of the characters, then it's odd,
I
you know.
think, and you can use her in a lot of ways. Like she's talented. Like she's a world class bitch. She's very good at that, right? And she can move around. She's not the best wrestler in the world, but she can move around and do some stuff.
Yeah.
But Charlotte, watching her work was just refreshing. It was just like it is watching like, and Rhea's the same way, but Rhea's just more brutal, a little bit more modern, in her like character and stuff like that. But Charlotte is just an old school professional wrestler, and like she doesn't do anything too flashy. She's visually impressive. Like, I always thought she was boring, and in some ways she is. I'm always going to make fun of her for leaning so hard on the Ric Flair thing. But if my dad was Ric Flair, this
Right.
podcast would be called Ric Flair's Son's Podcast, along with his shithead friend who isn't Ric
Right.
Flair's son. Be a long
Yeah.
name, but that's what it'd be called.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
props
think
to her, man. I'm a convert. I'm sorry for interrupting.
I think
I'm a
that
convert.
it's I think it is a thing where it's like she's so consistent and she's so good that it's almost like she falls into the background a little bit until you start to really look at her in comparison to like some of the other women on the roster. Like she is really, really good.
Yeah, and it's a case of like, I used to go, oh man, I wonder who won the fucking title again. I bet it was Charlotte, like that type of
Yeah.
stuff. And it's like, dude, she's so good, and she's better than everybody except for maybe Rhea right now. You know, it's like, so I'd like to formally apologize, and I was unfamiliar with I was familiar with her game. We saw her have a 5. Was she in a 5-star match with Rhea when we went?
No, I don't think it hit 5, but it was very good.
5.
It might have been 5. We no, because we saw 2 5-stars at the WrestleMania we went to.
It was the triple threat for the IC title, and what was the other one?
The Usos versus Sami and Kevin.
They gave that 5 stars.
5 stars.
I thought Rhea. They're talking about like even Cornette said that Rhea versus Charlotte was the best women's match of all time.
Unless I misremember, it might have gotten 5, but
I think it was. I think that was 5 stars. I'm gonna look.
But I thought the Naomi Rhea Ripley Io Sky match, best match of night 2. Rhea Ripley's great. I think Io Sky's great. Naomi is good.
4 3/4.
Yeah.
It's son of a bitch. and you are right. The 5 stars for Kevin Owens and Sami versus the Usos.
Yep. Most disappointing, the guy that was branded, my guy.
Yeah, Dusty. That's one thing Dusty did in our preview is Dusty pissed all over Jacob Fatu. That is his guy. That's property of Dusty. Nobody saw it before Dusty.
Nope. I'm look, everybody else is a pretender to the throne. I alone see the potential of Jacob Fatu, except in this steel cage match, which was the worst match on either night by a lot, unfortunately.
I couldn't believe how bad that. I was like waiting.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I find Solo Sikoa to be extremely boring. I don't think he's bad. He bores me. You can't have a steel cage match where less than 5 minutes into it, the heel guys group is running out to interfere in the steel cage. What's the point of the cage at that?
Dude,
at
I
that
was
moment?
just, I was thinking. Hold on, let me see if this will come up immediately. This is what I was thinking. Oh man, these guys being here sure is going to enhance this match.
Yeah, it was. I was just watching it going, come on, man.
That was the Hulk Hogan tribute for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Was fucking chicanery and nonsense happening
Classic,
in a match that everybody was excited.
Classic NWO shenanigans. Yeah, I was super disappointed. Jacob Fatu, still my guy, still on the big board for great future things, but he was not great on this night.
He threw a really sick clothesline where they were like running at each other, and he clotheslined Solo, but he did it with such force. Like, he didn't fall forward. He kind of almost fell backward and landed on his ass on the other side. Like, it was cool. And then they do the spot, the spot that everybody was talking about. Like, we're probably going to see him moonsault off the top of the cage. And he loses the match, and he gets up, and they set up the moonsault on top of the cage, and the 2 fucking guys that he's moonsaulting stand up, ready to catch him, falling down off the. It's just like it was like the fucking 97 guy tag team match that they had. So much of guys just sitting on the side of the ring.
Yeah, you're talking about the TLC match. I like most everybody in this match. I don't understand the Wyatt Six, and you know that I was a guy, I rode hard for Bray Wyatt whenever he was around. I thought that guy had so much potential. The Wyatt Six, it doesn't work for me.
I hate the name.
Uh, and I don't think those
Truly
guys are.
hate the name.
I don't think those guys are very good.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Gacy and Loomis, they're less than fine, and without Bray Wyatt and his super weird ideas and his charisma, it just doesn't work. It's just
nobody
a
said,
tribute act.
you know what's good about the Wyatt family? The henchmen.
Right. This is a whole group of henchmen.
Oh man, you know what, they should make a Foot Clan movie. You know, it's just
Yeah.
it doesn't work like that.
I really want to see the NWO B team guys in the main event.
God damn it, where's Virgil?
Why isn't Horace Hogan getting more television time?
Yeah. It's always the Macho Man.
there were some sick things in this match. The Spanish fly off the top rope to the floor through that table was sick.
That's one of those moments that make you like, I was like, whoa.
They were really close to that guardrail. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
if that dude's legs are any further over, his knees are destroyed on that guardrail when he does that flip.
100%.
Like, I thought Tommaso Ciampa doing basically like a curl. He was doing
That was cool. Yeah.
the Jeff Hardy thing where he's hanging on the thing, and somebody went to tackle him, and he just basically deadlifted himself.
I thought they were gonna like recreate the spot because the guys were there, but yeah, that was cool. There was cool stuff. I don't understand why they had the women run and try to get the belt. Is that like part of it? Can I run up from the crowd and get the belt and throw it to Ciampa and he's the champ? Or am I the champ? Because I got it out.
Now you're the champ by those properties.
Power's vested in them.
Yeah. I think it was just to have extra people to do stunts. They nearly killed Johnny Gargano's wife, Candice LeRae.
One thing we know is there weren't enough people in this match.
Yeah. It's six teams is way too much. Like, it was one of those things where the Motor City Machine Guns are so goddamn good, and I can't remember a single thing they did in this match. Like, they were
one of them climbed the ladder really fast. If they're the guys I thought it was, at one point he just climbed the ladder really fast.
Yeah, and it's like, those dudes are so good, but those dudes are like, I'm not taking any of these bumps. Guess who's taking these bumps? Fraxium are taking these bumps.
Get Gargano's wife. Montez Ford, pretty impressive. A lot of the athletic stuff that he did, I think he did like a springboard and landed on the top of the ladder, which was pretty cool. That's scary, dude. Every time these guys, I'm always thinking that ladder's gonna topple, no problem, you know.
I mean,
cool stuff.
Anytime that you're dealing with the ladder or any of that stuff, that's an object that you can't predict how it's going to react to stuff. Like, you think it's going to do something, but you can't be sure. Like, the same thing whenever Candice LeRae got toppled over the ladder, she was going 800 miles an hour to the floor. Like, that ladder didn't break her fall at all.
Yeah, that was a sick spot, and good for her. I hope she's okay. But it's just there's already 12 guys plus Eric Rowan in this match, and you're just throwing more bodies at it. While I don't know, there was a moment, and I wish I knew who it was. There was a guy, one of the white guys, not Gargano and Ciampa. I can tell you that. He was on the side of the ring, on the right side, towards hard camera, and he was waiting, but I don't think he knew the camera could see him. You just saw his head on the bottom right part of the screen, and he's completely fine. He's just not doing anything, just watching the match.
Yeah.
And it's that's the problem with these matches. That's why the Dudleys versus Edge and Christian versus the Dudleys versus Edge and Christian and I'm blanking. Who's the third?
Got to get your...
the Hardys. The Hardys. I apologize. Listen, that's blasphemy. There's that's why there's only 6 people in that match. There's 6 teams in this. Why do we we have to work everybody into the big shows, and it ends up hurting everybody. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, and they were trying to top the TLC match they had right after WrestleMania, which I thought was a really great match. But like, the more people you put in these things, the less coherent the story is, and the more you have what you're talking about, which is just like a guy waiting to do his next thing. And there was some guy waiting to do his next thing in the Edge and Christian and Dudley's and
Oh, for
Hardy's one.
sure. Yeah, 100%.
But with six guys, it's a lot less noticeable because you can hide it better. But
You can only film one thing, one spot at a time. Like, that's the problem. And it's like,
yeah,
so, and I don't blame these guys. There's no magical way to make a 12-man tag team or ladder match work.
right.
It's just like they're put in a hard position that it's not the worst match I've ever seen. Like, I probably, like you said, I had more fun watching this than Solo versus Jacob Fatu,
Yeah,
which almost hurts me to say, but like, so anyway, it's too many guys. It's a one word review, even though we just spent 5 minutes on it.
yeah.
Too many guys.
And then in the main, Dominic Mysterio beats AJ Styles very quickly. Dominic Mysterio, the fucking best.
He's a star, man.
He's so good. Like I put on Blue Sky what we had said in the preview, which is I don't know that I've ever had such a change of heart from maybe this guy shouldn't be a pro wrestler to this guy's the best wrestler. Give him every title you have.
I literally thought like I was gonna buy a car from Dominic Mysterio at some point in my life.
Yeah, like
After him and Ray broke up.
just get a podcast, dude. Your dad is rich. Like,
Make a podcast with Daddy.
yeah, you got a no jumper podcast in you, I'm sure. You could be one of those
Yeah.
dudes. And then he turns heel. Suddenly he's the most charismatic person I've ever seen. Like, he's so good. His wrestling has greatly improved. That was another problem with his babyface run. It was just like, I don't know if it was because he didn't have a personality to base his wrestling on, or if he's just gotten better. But now I'm buying all the Dominic Mysterio stock.
Well, and the crazy thing is, I agree. The crazy thing is, I think he was hurt by being with his dad. Even though Ray,
Right.
praise be to Ray. We're gonna talk about him a little later.
Yeah.
But it's like I think maybe I assumed because his dad's so much better than he is,
Right.
and he looked like some like flat faced. He looks like Lars Ulrich with a mullet. And he didn't move very well, and like there were so many things that I just felt like this shithead kid is being forced on us and shouldn't be a wrestler. He just like, his dad won custody in a ladder match at one point, and now he's in our lives. And then they break up, and when they broke up, he did like the gimmick at WrestleMania 39 where like he got arrested for something really small, but he arrived to the place in a cop car in shackles, and he gets out with his dad's mask on, and then his dad ended up spanking him on the ass. He's got no problem with his face being in the doo-doo. And then they did a really good job of pairing him with like Rhea and all this stuff. And like, I don't know, man, I am a believer in Dominic Mysterio. And I think like barring something outside of the wrestling ring that we don't know about, like he's going to be around for a really long time. And I'm happy about that. Like that fucking guy's awesome.
Couldn't agree more. Main event. Cody Rhodes defeats John Cena by pinfall. But yeah, for the WWF title. I don't know how long we spend on this. The promo on Friday where John Cena essentially just goes, "Hey, my bad, y'all. I was wrong. I could you know what? First guy to put my hands up. I was acting like a dick."
Y'all remember when I grinded my feet on Eddie's couch? I probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't have done that.
Probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, you know who was talking to me outside was Charlie Murphy. He was riling me up. And that's what happened.
He was really getting me going.
Yeah, I don't understand. I do understand. Cena's only got 12 dates left. He's going to drop this belt to Cody. He's going to end up as a babyface. Like, they're not going to let John Cena ride off into the sunset as a heel. His heart, I don't know how to judge it. It doesn't seem to me like his heart was in it because he didn't do any of the things that I would classify doing to really try to be a heel. Most likely because he's only got, 6 months left, and he doesn't have to make any money trying to draw as a heel. It's all guaranteed money, and people are going to pay to see it anyway. And people want to cheer John Cena because it's the last time they're ever going to see him. So like, it just was so hard to make it happen, and it felt like they did it for the novelty, and it worked for that one night when he turned heel, and then the rest of that story makes no sense in a wrestling context.
I agree to a point. I think I agree that the heel stuff was weird and it was forced, and it nobody believed it. Everybody knew. There's not a person that you know in the world that isn't like, you know what, we all know John Cena is not going to retire as a heel. So I think the sin was in the execution of the heel run, because he did. He expressed contempt for the fans. He did stuff like that, which you never expected John Cena to do, because like John Cena's like the ultimate "I do it for you" type guy, and in his character at least. But I can't fault them for just being like, you know what, just go out there and say never mind. Like, this sucks. We did a thing that sucks, and we don't want to continue doing this thing that sucks. So let's just go out there and say, you know what? I'm going to give you guys exactly what you want. This is for you. Let's have a hell of a match.
I'm going to fucking off-ramp it because
the crowd fucking lost their minds.
Yeah, they put themselves into a corner. I mean, because if you listen to the John Cena character is saying when he's a heel, I'm not going to give you anything. I know what you want, and I'm going to purposefully deny you of the thing you want. And then immediately he's like, JK, I know what you guys want. Here's this thing that I'm fucking doing. Here's the music. Here's merch for every town I go to. That's the last time, because we already printed these t-shirts, and there's no goddamn way I'm not selling these t-shirts.
Yeah, I gotta pay. They make me pay for these.
Yeah, these came out of John Cena Enterprises. I'm getting my money back. So yeah, like from a character standpoint, I want to hate it, and it should have killed him off. Like this is Steve Austin level. Shouldn't have turned heel. People don't want it. But I'm glad they realigned it. I don't know how they could have done it any better. I wish they would have just not done it at all.
Like, I generally agree with you. I think I'm okay with the promo. I'm okay with Friday. It is, like I said, the sin was the few months before Friday.
Right. It just doesn't make any sense. It's fine. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, it does, like, on a very surface level. He's like, you know what, dude? You made some good points. You know?
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I was being an asshole. Sorry.
I was being a bit of a dick, and that's not what the people want. So, you know.
So I was like, okay, so here's the chance. Here's where Cody, to win his title back, does the thing to Cena that Cena did to him. He's desperate to win his title back because that's all Cody cares about. He clearly can turn heel here, and then we've got something. Now, they go out, they have a John Cena main event match, which I didn't hate. There's 10,000 finishers. Like Andrew has a point on this, but that's the John Cena video game match. Like I can only judge it on, was I entertained? Did I bite on some of these false finishes? I did. It wasn't a great wrestling match in the way that I judge great wrestling matches, but it was a fun experience to have. And I'm sure if I were with people, like they were showing this at the movie theater, but I didn't go because I'm not paying $25 to watch something I can watch in my house for free. I'm sure that theater was fucking going crazy, because that's what it's designed to do. It's all cotton candy. You want an attitude adjustment? Here's 50, dude. Like,
and
you know,
here's one through a table, and here's one off the, and it's so yeah, it was fan service. So I can't get, this is the thing, I can't say that Friday was okay and then get mad at that match, because Friday and that match are very similar things.
Right.
So that's fair. That's totally fine. I had a lot of fun watching the match. once again, I had it spoiled for me, so I knew who was going to win the match. So I didn't bite for the false finishes as much, but I would have, like, for sure, because I was even like, enjoying the hell out of it. But it's like, we got, first of all, and the Crossroads is a cool looking finisher. The opponent lands on Cody.
But their face, dude. Their face is hitting the mat.
The face is hitting Cody's chest.
The opponent,
Cody's back hits the mat, and the opponent lands on. Oh wait, no. I guess no. I guess their face is hitting the mat, huh? Yeah. No, because Cody. I think doesn't Cody's back hit the mat?
Cody's back hits the mat. I believe it is designed to look as though it's like a reverse DDT kind of, or like a rolling reverse DDT. Like,
it looks cool, and like when he starts to when he reverse twists it first, and then he flips it over. Like, I think it looks cool. So whatever, but
I've seen that move a million times. There've been a bunch of dudes that have tried to use it to get it over. It never gets over. Cody Rhodes is by far the guy that's gotten it the most over, but it is, if you're looking at it, it's stupid.
So it depends on how he lands it, because he wasn't landing them like this.
Cena's not doing that, dude.
I'll show you what I'm looking at, because the one he's landing here is doing what you were talking about, and this is a good finishing move. See, his head's hitting the ground.
That's he spiked that guy.
Yeah, see, that's good.
John Cena will not be taking that bump. No.
Roman Reigns didn't take that bump either.
He's not taking that bump, particularly, what was it, 8 times? 8 crossroads or something? So the coolest part of this match is where they're fighting under the ring, and then John Cena comes up out of the smoke.
That was Chad Gable, by the way. Shout out to Chad Gable.
We stand a legend.
Hell yeah.
Cena comes up through the elevator that Cody comes out in, and there's smoke coming up. He looks like the goddamn Terminator.
And he's holding him on his neck, on his back for an attitude adjustment.
That was the coolest part of this match. So Cody wins. Fine, the belt's back on Cody, but he's just the American Nightmare. He's the same guy. He didn't do anything. There was a little bit of booing, but I think that had more to do with he's beating up John Cena as opposed to this dastardly son of a bitch.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think there's a little bit of fatigue, and I have my once we're ready, I have my Cody Rhodes turning heel on Raw promo ready.
Yeah,
I don't have the whole promo, but I have the idea of the promo ready. But he didn't turn. It was as if he would have turned heel to last night, because he should have.
Yeah. Then Cena does the nice thing. They have the sort of pass the torch moment, that they like to do, and then Cody leaves. When Cena's in the ring, he's soaking up his accolades. I did not have this spoiled. I was watching this live, I'm like, well, something's got to happen, because they're doing the thing that they do where they stay on the ring, and even though the credits are coming up, I'm like, well, somebody's doing something.
They left the guy who lost in the ring.
Yeah, and then I have to tell you, this was something that I would have never have thought. Brock Lesnar's music hits, and a huge pop for Brock Lesnar, a giant pop for Lesnar. And Lesnar's back. He stalks around the ring. He's doing the whole thing. He jumps in the ring, F5s John Cena, and then that's how we go out there. Lesnar's back.
I saw a thing that every time Brock returns, he F5 Cena. That's...
there at least a couple of times. I don't know if it's been every time.
I think it's 3 times it's happened where he's returned. It's just
John's just got to get out of that ring. And where's Cody Rhodes, his new best friend? Was just in the back. He's looking at his Iron Man 3 mask that he comes out in.
It's pretty boss, huh?
Pretty cool, right?
He walked by Brock on the way out, and gave him a little chin nod, and then stopped for a second. He's like, "Not my problem."
Yeah.
It's fine.
I don't want any of that. Yeah. There's a long discussion to be had. I'm not thrilled.
It's crazy. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Again, it's just a thing that I never thought would happen. Like,
Yep.
and it's similar. I don't know that it's similar, but it's these guys where it's like, how do you talk about like Hogan? How do you talk about Brock? How do you talk about Vince? How, like, if they could do the tributes to Hogan and they could bring Brock back, how far away is Vince has an appearance on TV at some point in the
I know.
future? Like, if 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 that stuff doesn't disqualify you, what possibly disqualifies you? You know, and I guess it's like Cena wanted him to come back. Cena wants the match with him. Like, I don't know, it bums me
Yeah.
out. Like, it just bums me out.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I don't think Vince is coming back, but you make a good point. Like in the sense that if where does the line drawn? Because for people who don't know, I mean, I'm surprised you're listening to this podcast if you don't know. You know, Brock's got a lot of things thrown at him. He's been alleged to have been involved in a lot of the things that Vince was involved in. He's basically the only wrestler named in it, right?
Yeah, I believe Triple H and Stephanie were named as like people who knew about the relationship, but like,
Also sucks.
yeah, but like the Brock stuff is really, I like, if people want to read it, it's
Yeah.
out there. Like, it's pretty egregious. Like, I don't want to undersell it or anything, but like, it's not good. But I also shouldn't be surprised. Conor McGregor's back in the USADA testing pool. Like, uh, when there's money to be made off these guys, they're going to bring these guys back.
He's also running for president of Ireland.
Right. And
But
so,
he's probably he's trying to get on the ballot right now. Yeah, it's really hard. It's hard because I mean, listen, Brock hasn't been convicted of anything.
right.
Brock has been named. I don't think there's been any. I don't even think there's been any judgment. He hasn't been exonerated either, right? But it's like, where does the WWE? What is their role in protecting the viewership or keeping money out of the hands of scumbags? Or their role right now? They're owned by Ari Emanuel. All Ari Emanuel cares about is making money. He's made that very clear
Right.
with the UFC, and the WWE is very clearly trying to do what the UFC has been doing for a long time.
Yeah.
They just with the ESPN deal that they signed, like they're just trying to run the same blueprint because the UFC is not nearly as popular as it used to be, but it's making more money because they are squeezing every dollar out of this shit. So like,
Yeah, they're definitely insulating themselves to be a money making property, regardless of the popularity of the product.
and the
Like,
people who know about that Brock lawsuit are a vocal minority that aren't going to cost them very much money. And Brock Lesnar is going to bring in a lot of intrigue because he's one of the most famous monsters to
yeah.
ever live. So it's
Well,
like,
and clearly, like, he gets cheered at this thing because it's a surprise, and you're in the building, and it's a pop. Like,
listen,
know,
I don't like this stuff. I would have cheered if I was there and you heard burn. I would have been like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? Like,
right. It is. It's just like, it's a tough sitch, which is,
yeah,
again, I don't want to minimize by seeming glib, but it is like, this guy's back for however long he's back for. They were clearly, like, I was reading about it, they did some sort of internal, vetting, and felt comfortable enough to put him back on TV. And like you said, for the people that know, it's up to us to decide, like, how we feel about it. But there's a lot of people who are never going to know that any of this was going on, and they're just going to see it for what it is.
the amount of people who care is not big enough to matter, and the amount of people who care who will actually not watch is even smaller than that. So
right.
like, it is financially, it makes sense for them, and whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is anybody's decision within themselves. But it's like, that's the reality of the case, of the situation. That's why John Jones gets booked all the time. That's why Floyd Mayweather got fights all the time. That's why Gervonta Davis can beat up a woman, probably like one woman a year. He beats up more women than men, and he's still getting all these title fights all the time. So it's like, that's the nature of the business, and we're never going to stop it. So, and that's a bleak way of looking at it, but it's the truth. So,
Yeah.
so for the Cody promo, unless you got more.
No. That's it. That's SummerSlam
Um,
2025. Oh, let me just add. So thumbs up, thumbs down. Where you at on as a whole for SummerSlam?
Thumbs up, man. Like I shit on the 2 day idea, and I still, it's a probably 30-hour event,
Yes,
which is a long time.
sat down and watched it all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I didn't even leave my couch between them. I didn't know. So,
yeah,
but I was like, when's this gonna restart, man? There's a long bathroom break. But it was good. It was entertaining. Cutting into two made it draw on a lot less. There were good surprises. There were good matches. They showcased who they wanted to showcase. Like I even think Roman shined really well. Like I think
yeah,
Roman's new role in what he's doing, and he was the curtain jerker. And he killed it.
yeah,
Like throwing Jay out of the way and taking the spear himself, and he sells his ass off after he takes the spear. Like
yeah.
so, like
He's
there was great stuff all around.
Yeah, I'm excited for him and Braun when they finally get to that. I think that's
Yeah,
going to be
for sure.
great. Yeah, it's a thumbs up show. Like the stuff that was really strong, and the rest of it was like pretty like from good to mostly inoffensive. Unfortunately, besides the Jacob Fatu
Yeah,
match, that's probably the lowest match on the show. But
which is
yeah,
fucking
which
crazy.
which is crazy. But yeah, I thought a good effort. So your promo, go ahead with your promo.
So Cody, you know, he's had this has happened to him twice, and what's happened to him here is everybody cared about him. He's the most intriguing wrestler in the world until he got to the mountaintop. So I think what he should come out and say is some version of, I had this big thing. You guys were heartbroken with me. You guys hung on every moment with me. You felt every punch, and I felt like I was fighting with you. I had this team around me, and I was on all my way, all the way to the mountaintop. And when I got there, you got bored.
Yeah.
And I like to think of it as you were the kitten who was chasing the laser pointer, or you were the kitten who was chasing the ball of yarn, but as soon as it caught the ball of yarn, it didn't want to chase it anymore.
Yeah.
And you just liked the chase. It was dissatisfying once you got to the top because it wasn't about me. It was about the television. And
Ooh,
this
that's a yeah.
yeah, and this guy comes out and he tells you that he has all this contempt for you, and he was lying to you all these years, and he was never with you, and he thinks he's better than you, and you hated him for it, and you changed your mind in 5 minutes and started booing me, who was always with you. And
Yeah.
it's like, so from now on, I wrestle for me. You guys like a guy, I'm gonna go beat him up.
Yeah.
Like all I am doing for the rest of my career is focusing on making my championships and accomplishments area of my Wikipedia longer.
Yeah. I think that's really good. I like that. I think there's an element. I don't know if you ever got around to watching it. You don't watch The Boys, right?
No.
Okay. So Homelander is the villain of The Boys, and he's Superman, but he's Superman if Superman were raised by bad people, essentially. Or if Superman wanted to exude his power as a god,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I think all he wants is to be loved, but he doesn't understand how to earn the love that people want to give him. So then he obtains love by through fear, or what he perceives to be love. Like the people fear him, so they respect him, but they no one loves him, and that's sort of the crux of that entire like character,
Mm.
right? And I think that's people have called the Cody heel turn eventually the Homelander sort of heel turn, like.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what you've outlined is great too. And I think there is something in there too about like I was here and I was just my dad's son. So then I left and I became my own guy and you guys followed me and I started something else and I was going to be the ruler of that kingdom and then you booed me out of that kingdom and I came back here to fulfill my dream and my destiny, and you were all with me. And now that I've gotten it, you're looking for the next thing,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, like, so I think, uh, like I all the heel motivations nowadays seem to be the crowd used to like me and now you guys don't, so fuck you guys. And so I don't I don't love it for everybody. For Cody, it makes sense for his character also to be that guy.
It's the
Like,
compelling part of his story. It's like everybody was behind this guy as if he had been their guy forever and that he will always be their guy. They are Cody Rhodes guys, but you could tell even when it was happening, it was conditional.
yeah,
So like as soon as I think that might be why they extended it another year, because they're like, as soon as this fucking guy does this,
right.
they're not gonna care anymore.
You're gonna
And
fight against it.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I don't blame the crowd myself. Like in reality, it's like even the crowd while it was doing it, like I cheered my balls off for Cody Rhodes at
yeah,
WrestleMania 39 when we were there, and I was heartbroken when he lost. I knew when he won, I wasn't going to keep watching SmackDown to watch Cody Rhodes,
right.
and that's so nobody's really in reality, outside of kayfabe at fault for that. But that would be Cody Rhodes' motivation to turn heel and just be like, no, screw you guys. Like I'm here for accomplishments now. You guys, I was the only real person here
Right.
who stayed true to himself and didn't change to fit some stupid narrative or to make shocking television. And then the whole crowd goes, because
Right.
he's referencing the Cena thing. But no, you guys don't want reality. You guys don't want anything other than the next big thing walking down that ramp that you didn't expect to show up. Like you
Right.
guys want the cheap pops. You guys want the surprise debuts. You guys don't care about somebody who's been here bleeding for you and only for you. Like that whole thing is like, because that's what Cody's been. I mean, he showed up and
Yeah.
he's just been the kind of like epitome of the good guy wrestling for the people and feeling the love of the people, and the people were cheering on him and holding on everything, and then they just fucking abandoned him.
Well, and I think there's something there too that you could play with, which is what you and I talk about, which is like, I don't think that Cody Rhodes is the guy that he presents, right? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
it's very clearly that he wants to be Cody Rhodes, the ambassador for WWE, who has the suit, it says the right things, and has 5 funny anecdotes that he could tell that are all like like a little bit personal. They're funny. They're a little bit inside, but like he's gonna tell those 5 stories everywhere he goes. Right? He's a television personality, and he's curated that. And underneath that, I think everybody realizes like, no, he's an ambitious cutthroat. We expect that he's going to be that guy, and I think there's also a good play where he can say like, I'm genuinely being this person, but all of you think I'm this other person. So why wouldn't I just be the other person? You want me to be the guy who just wants to be on all the magazines and the television shows? You really want me to then that's who I'm gonna be, and I'm gonna hold the title for 10 years because I'm the best. No one can beat me, and now I don't care if you love me or not, so I don't even have to worry about you guys anymore because clearly you don't care. Like I think
Yeah.
those are all interesting ways to go.
Well, like for years we needed each other, and now neither of us need the other one.
Right?
So let's just part ways.
Yeah, you
Let's
want
just
to.
you guys go your way, I'll go my way. I'll keep winning championships, and you keep chasing that dragon that'll never fulfill what you actually want.
Not to be this guy, but he could use the Rick and Morty line where they're booing Rick and Rick says, your boos mean nothing, I've seen what makes you cheer.
No,
Like,
yeah, sure.
yeah, it could just
Yeah.
be that, like that works for that character. Is like you said, we both don't need each other. You want to boo me, go ahead. I don't care about it anymore. And then you'll get bored of doing that, like
Yeah.
because if I don't care, then
You'll find the next guy, and then as soon as he stops doing what you want him to do, you'll throw him aside, and it'll just be empty your entire existence as a wrestling
yeah,
fan. You'll just be discarding people who you used for entertainment for their 15 minutes, and then I'll just keep stacking and stacking and stacking and focusing on my family and my legacy, and I'll be more fulfilled than you ever will.
Oh, and he could do something where he goes, in 50 years they'll be saying, Dusty Rhodes, isn't that Cody Rhodes' dad?
Yeah.
Because
Well, I was even thinking about like where he's talking about like how he's cutthroat, and he's like no matter, like, you guys march Ric Flair's old ass down here, and I'll hold his head up like a trophy for you guys. Like, we're
yeah,
talking about, and I even thought about him going, "You march Dusty Rhodes down here right now," but I was like, "No, he can't go that far."
But like where he plays like in 50 years, I'll be the most famous Rhodes. They'll say, "Isn't Dusty related to Cody?"
Yeah,
Instead of, "Isn't Cody related to Dusty?"
yeah,
Like those are all like I think there's so much to be mined from Cody Rhodes turning heel, because I really do think he's that guy. And I think if he leaned into it, now that he's a main event guy, it'll work way better than when he was a heel as a mid carder. Because mid card Cody Rhodes was very entertaining, but a main event Cody now, with all the extra that he's learned and all the extra pub that he's got, would be a great character. So I hope that he doesn't. I hope that he doesn't just keep resisting. I hope we don't get another, the fans boo John Cena, but some of them like him, and that's just how it goes sometimes, for 10 more years. Like,
yeah, and that's the only way for him to stay for him to kind of fall into the weeds is for him to stay exactly what he is. And maybe he doesn't have to turn heel, but he has to change something.
yeah.
Like, even though I love the Cody Rhodes like aesthetic, I love the song is awesome. His matches have been pretty good. Like, he's not the best wrestler in the world, but like his matches have been pretty good, and he creates intrigue, and he does it better than he used to. It's not like he's bad. It's just he becomes kind of white bread sometimes, and nobody believes him, and he's got that stupid neck tattoo, and like it's just hard. So like he's got to do something. He's gonna eventually have to turn heel. I mean, that was what killed him in AEW, is he refused to do it. So it's like he's got to learn the definition of insanity, man. That's so.
Yeah. So if you're ready, let's move from a guy who doesn't want to be a heel to a guy who loved being a heel so much.
Oh, God damn it.
I want to transport you back, Andrew. 1997. All right. You just saw I Know What You Did Last Summer. You're going to throw on The Velvet Rope by Janet Jackson and possibly play some GoldenEye 64 the weekend of Halloween Havoc 97. But on Sunday night, October 27th.
Men in Black came out in 97. Liar, liar. I don't know what you're doing with.
Yeah, but the weekend of Halloween Havoc, I Know What You Did Last Summer was the number one movie.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
And The Velvet Rope by Janet Jackson was the number one album. So you're probably, you went out, you did your things. I cheated a little bit. GoldenEye came out in August, but you're hitting that stride in GoldenEye.
You're starting to figure it out. Yeah.
You're figuring out Odd Job, really difficult to shoot in multiplayer. So
that game just doesn't hold up. Let's continue.
Yeah. Halloween Havoc 1997. Man, this might be our most covered event, because we've done a review of it on the old show. We talked about the Savage versus DDP match on our deep dive into their feud, and now we're hitting Halloween Havoc again for what might be Andrew's favorite match. What we're trying to do is we're trying to find Andrew's favorite wrestling match of all time, and this at one point was the placeholder that we'd put there. We've watched a lot of wrestling since then, so we decided we needed to come back, get a refresher on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Okay, I found it. Yeah, man, these are two of my favorite guys of all time. This show sucked so much ass, if I remember correctly.
It sucks towards the top end.
Every fucking WCW.
Like the first four matches are good. This match went on third for Halloween Havoc 1997.
Yeah, and it was for a belt.
Yeah, these drunk people at the MGM Garden Arena had no idea what they were about to get themselves into.
Oh man,
let me see. I'm trying to.
Oh, this is
Yep.
This is Macho Man
Yep.
blowing his knees out from
This
the
is
top of the
this is
cage.
another one of your favorite
Oh
moments in
man,
history.
we have not referenced anything more than we've referenced the Macho Man flying in from the top of the cage for no reason.
Dude, because like you said back then, no one rides harder for their guys than Macho Man Randy Savage. If he's in the
No,
NWO, he'll interfere in the first match. He'll
you're
interfere
friends for life.
once you're a jet, you're a jet for life.
I can't do the voice anymore. Once you're a jet man, you're a jet for life. That's not bad.
No, that's pretty good. That was a good one.
My fucking knees hurt so bad.
Oh, brother.
Oh man, you remember I used to have two good knees, man.
Just if you've never
played in the minor leagues with these knees.
If you've never seen this show, do yourself a favor. The main event is one of the most atrocious wrestling matches in history.
It's Roddy Piper versus Hulk Hogan in a steel cage.
But Macho Man tries to do a flying axe handle off the top of this cage. Clearly did not realize how tall this cage was. And he doesn't even hit Piper. He hits Hogan more than he hits Piper and just destroys his knee.
I think as soon as he left the cage, he was like, I gotta hit something, man, or I'm gonna die.
I'm literally going to die if I don't hit Hulk Hogan in the head right now.
Or it's Shitsville for the old Macho Man.
Oh no, brother.
Oh no. Doc, what you gotta understand is it was the top of a steel cage.
Yeah, you said MCL, ACL, and meniscus? Oh, brother.
At least the Macho Man still has his PCL.
What's that? You can't find that either? Well, goddamn.
Did you check in my rib cage?
You heard I beat Diamond Dallas Page tonight, right? At least
whipped his fucking ass.
Okay, so of course the undercard of WCW is legendary. It's why you tuned in. They really had that nailed down.
That's where you would get your Malenkos, your Benoits, your Chris Jerichos.
You've got a Perry Saturn in there. You've got a Psychosis. You got yourself a La Parka. You know, your
Ultimo Dragon.
You're seeing an Ultimo Dragon every once in a while.
And Alex Wright shows up and starts dancing.
Yeah, that's right. And Eddie Guerrero has recently turned heel. He had been just a white meat babyface. We like you, Eddie Guerrero, with the white singlet and the white and red tights. And luckily for him, he decided he was done with that. And us. He was done with that bullshit. So he had won the Cruiserweight title the previous month at Fall Brawl, where he defeated Chris Jericho in what is a pretty good match. Not a match good enough to make the 101 list, but still a pretty good match.
Yeah.
So he's the champion coming in here. Mysterio is essentially a phenom. Like, I mean, he's always going to be a phenom. But at this point, he's still the most exciting wrestler on mainstream television, like by a mile.
And I think he's only 22 years old, I believe.
It's crazy how good he is.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate thing is they kind of rush into this mask versus title match. Like there's not any interesting segments where they decide to put this up. Like Guerrero's been beat by Mysterio twice leading into this, and that's kind of the impetus for this match. But like you could have really built this into being something. But of course, it ends up third on a Halloween Havoc. Just right in the lower part of the card, but phenomenal. Like I don't know how we want to get into this. I got some questions, but I'll let you take the
lead. Ray comes out and Ray's wearing a purple suit, a suit that we saw
in person. Yes,
at WrestleMania 39 when we were there, and I am convinced this is a Batman suit.
It is not.
Because, well, I know that the Riddler was green.
Right.
but these I probably put in WrestleMania 39 because I was thinking about it. There's like almost question marks all over it. Like if you look at it, it looks like they just took the dots from question marks off the pants. Let me see if I can find a good angle of it. They're blurry. It's hard because it was 100 years ago. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. Share screen. See, it's hard to see, but these are question marks. Well, question marks go the other way. I don't know if you know that, but
yeah,
they look like question marks without the dot on the bottom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think as far as I know, this is inspired by the movie The Phantom, starring Billy Zane. If you want to pull up The Phantom, not
fucking Billy Zane,
not The Phantoms, which Affleck was the bomb in, but Phantom.
Affleck, you were the bomb in Phantoms, yo. Let me look. I mean, I could see that. It doesn't have the question marks on it, but yeah, this is definitely closer to what we're dealing with
yeah,
with
and I'm wondering if the question marks are just because that was kind of Mysterio's.
Because he's Mysterio.
Yeah, that was kind of his deal.
He's
but
mysterious.
as I recall, wouldn't it have been cool if Rey Mysterio came out on a goddamn horse, dude?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking moonsaulted off the horse.
Yeah.
You know he's fucking flying head scissoring that horse. You know how much Eddie would have fucked that horse up just to get some heat?
Yeah, he's giving him a frog splash off the top rope onto that horse. Yeah, so Mysterio comes out, he looks cool as hell. The costume he's wearing is really cool.
And Eddie comes out with the stankiest stank face.
Yeah.
Like this is the perfect heel look on his face. Like, I am an asshole. You guys are gonna hate me. Like, look at that guy.
He's like barely regarding the belt. I love when people do that shit. Like he's barely holding it. Like, yeah. And Eddie Guerrero's WCW theme, wildly underrated. It's a pretty good theme.
It's just the coolest guy. Look at that freaking guy, man. And
he's fucking shredded, dude. He is.
Yeah, he's
like
huge.
Like this is not as big as he would get in WWE. That's probably the best case scenario for how big Eddie Guerrero should be. Because his upper body looks really good. He's shredded, but he doesn't look insane.
Yeah, and a lot of people close to him say that the steroids that he took at the end of his life is really what killed him. Like,
yeah.
I saw something today where somebody was saying that Eddie gave up his heart to win the title one last time or something like that.
Yeah, to be a WWF main eventer, like he had to put weight on, he had to put like size on. So, yeah, he looks great. He's just full shit-eating heel, like he was playing in Mexico before he came to WCW. Mike Tenay's really good for this match because he has all that backstory that obviously like Tony Schiavone and Bobby Heenan aren't gonna know about Eddie Guerrero's heel run in Mexico.
Yeah, we had 4 announcers for this, didn't we? Because we had
Dusty Rhodes
Dream.
too. Yeah,
we had the Dream in there.
Turns out Dusty Rhodes very into AAA in the mid-90s.
He just does not understand what he's seeing. I don't know what's happening right here. Yeah. But what did he say about Eddie? He said he's bigger and he's better and he's got a bad attitude about himself.
So like, I don't really know how to approach it. I guess the main thing that they're going for here is Mysterio is in danger of losing his mask. So I know we've watched this before, but if you put yourself in 97 live on pay-per-view, do you think they did a good job of selling the peril that Mysterio's in the match?
Yeah, and it was the classic Mysterio is smaller than the person he's wrestling match. Yeah. Even though this is a cruiserweight match, like it's not like he's wrestling the Big Show. Eddie made it very clear, and they both made it very clear that Eddie's the stronger physically guy. And multiple times it looked like Eddie might be able to rip the mask off of Mysterio's face. So Mysterio's not wearing a mask that has like an opening at the bottom. His mask is part of his suit. I don't know how he got in this damn thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so a couple times Eddie got like Rey's on his knees facing the camera, and Eddie is behind him with his hand in the eye hole trying to rip the mask apart. And then at one point he does rip one of the eye holes pretty good of the mask. So yeah, I mean, and as the smaller guy who was getting like beat up at certain points of this, it seemed to be real chance that Rey was going to lose his mask. So yeah, that was there for sure.
Yeah, the thing that really stands out to me in this match is like Eddie is such a dickhead
Yeah.
in this match. Like he's the bully, and like you said, because Eddie's not a huge guy, but in this situation, he gets to be the bigger bully wrestler. So he's putting Mysterio in submissions and tearing at the mask and just generally like fucking him up by putting him in all these holds and all these stretches. And Ray's selling is great. There's a backbreaker that Eddie nails him with at one point, and you just hear Ray just being like, "Oh God."
Yeah.
Like,
Ray did that a lot, especially early in his career. You could hear him like yelling and
yeah,
crying for help and stuff. And a couple things that they did really well. Well, first of all, I mean, he threw Ray's head straight into the steps. And I think like I don't think it was like, 90-degree angle, like, accordion right into the steps, but he
yeah,
made it look like it was.
yeah,
And so Ray's selling was awesome the whole time. But I think one thing that these two guys did that was so special when they got together was it did nothing. Some of the things they did look incredibly clean. Like, well, I'm sure we'll get to some of Ray's crazy spots and all that. But every once in a while, it was just they try to get in a situation and Eddie's way stronger, so he just throws Ray like a sack of potatoes. Like
yeah,
it didn't even have to be a wrestling move. Like they get in this awkward position and Eddie just picks him up and throws him up in the air and walks away, and Ray falls to the ground. Or like Ray jumps off the top rope and Eddie catches him weird and just throws him to the ground. It doesn't have to be a power bomb. He just grabs a guy who's smaller than him and throws him to the ground, and they trust each other to not break his neck,
yeah,
So I think they did that really well. Like, even there's a spot where Ray was running towards the corner and he jumped up and stood on the turnbuckle like Spider-Man pose, facing outwards, and Eddie just walks up and just pushes both of his legs and Ray just falls onto the turnbuckle.
yeah.
And it's like they had these weird spots, and I think that's one of my favorite things. That's beyond all the crazy stuff they did. They had these weird spots that you don't see in other matches because they are just literally the physics of where their body was at that time, and they did something cool with it. It's not like, okay, it's a power bomb into a DDT, into a head scissors, which that was there, but there was also the awkward, weird stuff of just Eddie just throwing this guy around like he's a child, which I think
Right. Well, and it's like in the moment, and you could tell like they're not going to abandon something just because it looks kind of awkward. Like one of Ray's big moves is he does like a twisting, like kind of body attack, kind of a whisper in the wind, Jeff Hardy style thing, but he over rotates and he kind of ends up headbutting Eddie based on where Eddie is in the ring when he catches him, and the announcers are like, "That was like a twisting into a headbutt."
it was like it was
Maybe
a corkscrew, like yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like, that's real. That's a dude who's desperate, who has a second, who's trying to do something to hurt the other guy, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Meanwhile, I will say, so crisp. Like there's video game level shit in this match. Like we can move to the second thing where I'll start, which is like maybe my favorite sequence in this entire match is he has Ray down, and then they end up in like a knuckle lock where Ray is on the mat and Eddie's on top of him, and Ray jumps up from the mat and onto the top rope with Eddie's help. Eddie like lifts him, and then he backflips into a DDT back into the ring. I have never seen that shit again. Like,
and he hit it. They
it
hit
was
it
perfect.
so perfect.
And you can
And then-
see Eddie looking where Ray is. Like if you watch when Ray backflips, Eddie's moving his body to where he knows Mysterio's going to be. And I've never seen anybody else hit it like this. If they've done it, Mysterio has said this is the only time he's ever been able to hit this move clean. Like it was just the perfect spot right there.
And then so like even right after that, so he hits this, which is like wow, like if you're watching and you've like you said, you've watched so much wrestling and you haven't seen it since, and it's like, so that's just a new thing for everybody. So that hits, and they don't milk that. That happens. They're both kind of hurt. Eddie gets up, and Ray's better off than Eddie because Rey had just hit the DDT. Rey goes straight into drop kicking Eddie, and Eddie falls. The way that he falls into and through the ropes is just like, we talk about it. Like when I think it was recent, as we were talking about Shawn and Kurt, I think Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle, where not everything looks perfect and not everything looks choreographed, but it looks more real because of that. And and when we were talking about when the Hollywood Blondes, that Austin loved to fall into the ropes in awkward ways and stuff like that. It always looks super cool.
Yeah.
And so they hit that backflip DDT, and then they go straight into a drop kick where Eddie just slams into the bottom and middle rope and then falls through it in a way that like you just don't see very often. Like these guys were just, this is a 30-year-old and a 22-year-old. Both of them are in the rafters now, but it was, it seems like the vibe I got the whole time was like, this was Ray's like super breakout. Like this was the one that put him on the map. I don't even know if that's true. Like, but for a 22-year-old to go out and have that match, when he does what do you even call it? A suicide dive, front flip, head scissors.
I call it. So they end up teasing a bunch of stuff, and Eddie's in control, and then Rey gets another spot, and Eddie's on the floor, and Rey runs towards the ropes, front flips over the top rope onto Eddie's shoulders facing front, and then Hurricane Rana's him essentially, or head scissors him, whichever you choose. Again, that's video game shit. That is another one where I've watched Mysterio talk about this match, and he goes, "I never again." He's like, "I don't even know why." He's like, "I don't even know how I did it then." He's like, it just worked perfectly in that exact moment. And it's like, that's the magic of this match, is both of these guys, for whatever was going on on this night, were at the peak of what they could do together. They were perfectly in sync, and they had great matches after this against each other, against tons of other people. But like, it was never this perfect again. Like everything aligned perfectly for this match.
Yeah, man. Like the Hurricane Rana, he didn't land perfectly on the head. So he had to really like figure it out on the fly in a split second, and Eddie had to help him. Like if you watch it, he didn't land perfectly square.
Yeah.
Because how could you? So like,
right.
And then he's front flipping, so his momentum is going that way. So he has to land on the shoulders and immediately switch his momentum to throw the head scissors. Like it's unbelievable that it looked that it happened that fast, because what they could have done is like, he landed, he's on the shoulders for a second while they like change the way they're leaning and their momentum and stuff, and then he flips it.
Yeah.
But no, it's just land flip immediately.
Or if he would have just front flipped onto him into like a senton, like a seated like thing, great. That's still sick as hell.
Cool.
yeah. I love that at one point Eddie has Rey in the gory special, which is his dad's move, where he's got him on his back, like they're back to back, and Rey is facing like you'd give a razor's edge to somebody or something, but it's a submission, and Eddie's got his arms out, Rey's arms out, and he's cranking him, and the whole time the announcers are like, "This might be it," and Dusty Rhodes goes, "Yeah, he might just have him uncled here."
He's uncling him right now.
Yeah, he might be able to uncle him. So yeah, I like so the finish. The finish is the other big,
Jesus Christ.
The other awesome part.
I forgot. Like I'm so glad I forgot so many of these spots. Like I just remember that this was badass.
Yeah,
this match.
So Eddie goes up for the frog splash after giving the famous Eddie Guerrero powerbomb to the depths of hell.
Jesus Christ.
Nobody power bombs like Eddie Guerrero power bombed.
Nobody alive yet. Nobody alive, at least, because Chris Benoit's dead.
Yeah. That's
nobody who didn't murder their children, their child and themselves and their wife.
can still do a powerbomb this way.
They did a powerbomb like that.
Eddie snaps this powerbomb off, and he decides he goes for the frog splash. Rey moves, and Eddie does
I just spoke as if Eddie Guerrero was alive. He's alive in my heart.
Yeah, forever.
Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Mysterio moves, and Eddie does like a tumbling roll. So he doesn't like, hit his stomach and then sell it like that. He adjusts and rolls through, which is cool. And then he props Rey. Rey runs at him, and he ends up propping him up on the top rope, which is where he kicks his legs out from him again. And then they're fighting on the middle rope. And Eddie decides to try to do essentially a razor's edge off the second rope with Rey on the top rope. And so he props him out, and he goes to lift him up to throw him. Rey grabs him with the Hurricane Rana, fucking flips him, lands on him. That's the end of the match. 1, 2, 3. The crowd goes crazy, which again, like, I know they like Mysterio, and 97 WCW is hot, and I think the people are into it. The pop that they get for this match at the end is an earned pop from 15 minutes of the most awesome shit you've ever seen. Like, they earned it.
Yeah, this is the type of match 4.75 stars, you son of a bitch.
we were gonna get to it.
So. What else do you want? Melts anyway. It's just like, this is the type of match that has something for everybody. It had psychology. It had athleticism. It had the luchador stuff. It had some old school wrestling with Eddie. Like, that's the perfect combination that these two guys have. Like, Eddie has that, like, kind of really stiff, like, nothing too flashy most of the time. Like, his biggest finisher is a fucking frog splash. Like, it's like he has that old school stuff mixed with Rey, this innovative luchador style. He's figured out the perfect formula for a small guy who relies a lot on acrobatics to not look too choreographed and too put together. It's nobody's done that that I've seen better than Rey, right?
Right.
And it's these two guys hitting at the perfect time. I can't tell you a match I like better than this one.
Yeah, and again, like you were saying, like, Eddie's mean. When he's a heel, he's mean. And you believe that shit. Like, he really puts the boots to you. And like, in this match, it is a lot of, he's just stretching Mysterio. He's got him in like the abdominal stretch, and he's just torturing this poor guy. And you believe him. And like, for Guerrero to have that ability to be that mean and believable, and also be that beloved and such a good babyface, like, an incredible, like, who am I to say? Guess what? Eddie Guerrero is one of my guys. What an incredible talent Eddie Guerrero was. Like,
he's one of the few guys I still see like T-shirts at the gym with Eddie Guerrero's face on it.
Yeah,
and it's the more because I watched him when he was alive. Like, I was 12 years old, and sometimes I hated Eddie Guerrero, and sometimes I loved Eddie Guerrero. But I think I always, like, in the back of my head, loved him.
Yeah,
that's kind of how it works with wrestling. Yeah. You need, he's the darkness we needed a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But the more I watch him now, it's like, man, that guy who's better than that guy? Like,
yeah.
How many people I've called the GOAT on this show, but it's like, who's better than Eddie Guerrero at like almost any part of professional wrestling, except for staying alive.
Yep.
Some guys have been better at staying alive than him.
Yeah. It's tough. And could you imagine like the memeableness of Eddie Guerrero now? Like, he just missed the window.
He would be a freaking superstar right now.
Yeah.
Like
you
see what Dom's doing, and Dom's like, Dom's good.
Yeah,
Dom
he's cribbing Eddie big time. But
I mean, which is fine. Go
ahead.
Yeah. Who else are you going to take stuff from? He did the shoulder shimmy thing. Oh, by the way, we didn't say. I thought what's his name, the luchador, was pretty awesome.
Axiom.
The other one.
Who? Phoenix?
Dang it. Phoenix.
Yeah, Rey Phoenix. We know Rey Phoenix.
I liked him.
Yeah.
I know, but this was like it was my come around time for Rey Fenix too.
Yeah.
This like he's always been cool, but like I thought he was really good at SummerSlam, so I want to give him
Yeah.
a shout out. But he did the shoulder shimmy thing too, and like hit a frog splash and all that stuff. Everybody's always calling out to Eddie.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, fucking Meltzer 4 3/4 star. I don't know what you ding this match for. It's 14 minutes long. It's incredible bell to bell action. It has stakes with the mask. You're talking two of the best guys ever. You know what? I'm making an executive decision for wrestling over everything. It's 5 stars.
This is a 5-star match. This
Yeah.
is like, and I think there's a chance that he dinged it because it wasn't very long. I'm thinking that's the only thing he really could have taken away from it. But that's my thing with wrestling is so many things are too long.
Yeah.
This match didn't need to be any longer. It was perfect. There was everything in it, and it's like I just don't get it. And this is one of many stains on Dave Meltzer's record.
Now I want you to put yourself, Andrew, 1997. You just saw Mysterio versus Guerrero. You're hammered drunk. Man, you're so pleased with yourself.
Man, the Mexicans can actually do this, man.
I love these fellas.
Holy shit.
And then what else I've so far tonight I've seen Yuji Nagata beat the Ultimo Dragon, Chris Jericho beat Gato, and Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. God damn, what could be next? Alex Wright versus Steve Mongo McMichael. and I love Steve McMichael. Man, that's a tough act.
We've got love for Steve McMichael. But what was it? The Steve McMichael Memorial Award for the worst. What did we do? It was the Mongo McMichael Award for the worst match in the show or something like that. Is that what we used to do?
Yeah, well, because you averaged out for the year 1997 for all the matches we watched. Steve McMichael had the worst star rating, and he even wrestled Dean Malenko.
It was really bad. It was like, and Hulk was number 2 or something like that. I did a whole breakdown of all the stats for 1997 in wrestling, and Mongo McMichael had the worst matches. But hey, if you get past Alex Wright versus Steve McMichael, okay, every show has a lull, Dusty.
Yeah.
What was next?
Tell me what's next. We got 9 minutes 39 seconds, nearly as long as Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. Jacqueline defeats the Disco Inferno.
And this was Disco Inferno getting his receipt for leaving the company, right?
That is correct. Yeah. Then we're gonna run a Kurt Hennig disqualification win over Ric Flair. Lex Luger and Scott Hall in a no contest. Then we're doing Randy Savage beats Diamond Dallas Page. Pretty good match. And then on top, Rowdy Piper defeats Hulk Hogan in one of the worst matches of all time, only to be outdone the next year when Hulk Hogan wrestles the Ultimate Warrior at Halloween Havoc 1998. Truly abysmal.
Listen, the Roddy Piper versus Hulk Hogan match saved by the funniest moment in the history of wrestling.
Sure.
Which is Macho Man flying from nowhere. Do you have all the star ratings in front of you? Because there's I have them.
I do have it.
So ahead. Jacqueline versus Disco Inferno got a much better rating than Alex Wright versus Steve Mongo McMichael.
Yeah.
But it was negative a half star versus positive a quarter star.
Hey, that's a 50 point swing, dude.
Well, listen, Lex Luger versus Scott Hall was only 3/4 of a star.
Yeah, that's and then you plop down your $30. You want to see Hogan versus Piper in a cage, and maybe the Macho Man runs in. That's got to be worth at least how many stars, Andrew?
It's got to be worth. You feel like it's going to be a dud. The match was a dud.
Straight up dud. We're a real off the cliff in quality here. We start 3 3/4 stars, 3 stars, 4 3/4 stars, negative half star, quarter star, star and 3/4, 3/4 of a star, 3 1/4. We're back. Dud.
We're back. And done.
We're back, baby. Welcome to WCW, where the big boys
That
play.
is WCW in a nutshell,
Yeah.
except for a lot of these shows that we didn't have the Randy Savage versus DDP 3 1/4 star.
Right,
Like,
near the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we'll check out a Road Wild every once
yeah,
in a while.
yeah. So Mysterio wins here. Also very funny, after the match, he's trying to give a heartfelt promo into the camera. Eddie Guerrero just knocks the dog shit out of him. And Bobby Heenan
throws him out of the ring.
Yeah, Bobby Heenan's like, can't do that with him in the ring, man.
No.
You gotta know. You gotta know when it's promo cutting time and when it's time to get on out.
He's got that Latin pride.
He has a fiery temper, from what I understand. So Mysterio loses the title back to Eddie on the November 10th edition of Nitro, and then Eddie defeats him in a title defense at World War III in November. So like a real feel good moment for Mysterio to hold the belt for 2 whole weeks before he loses back to Eddie.
Listen, dude. That's how it works. How long was Lex Luger champ?
7 days, 6 days.
And maybe. It was the most feel good moment in the history of NWO era WCW, right? Like, is there a thing in NWO era WCW that's a better feel good moment than Lex Luger winning the title?
Because they fucked up Sting. because they fucked it up with Sting. So
if Sting wins at Starrcade, then yeah, you've got one. They set it up. Oh boy, did they set it up. They threw the alley and they just whiffed the oop. So the best one that they had was fucking Lex Luger winning the title, and he had it for 7 days and lost it to who?
Back to Hogan.
Yeah,
at Road Wild. Well, and to some degree deflates the balloon of Sting's eventual victory, because Luger beats him in the middle of the Sting run. So somebody can beat Hogan. They don't need the Dark Avenger. Clearly somebody can beat him. So
oh my god. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So this match, unfortunately, it wins the WCW match of the year. Obviously. It was this or Mongo McMichael versus Alex Wright. But it does not win the Wrestling Observer newsletter match of the year, because it loses to my favorite match of all time.
It is. It loses to Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13.
Look at you,
Did I get it right?
You're gonna host a wrestling podcast from now on.
Yeah, dude. Look at me. I'm gonna take a lap.
Yeah. So tough break for Mysterio and Eddie. Both 5 stars to me. But you gotta if you're gonna lose, you gotta lose to somebody. So
let's watch that one soon.
Yeah, we'll put that one up. Mysterio did win Best High Flyer 3 years in a row. They won in 95, 96, and 97 for the Wrestling Observer.
I mean, find a better one.
Yeah. Then he hurts.
So he won it. That means he won it when he was 20 too, which is cool.
Yeah. He won it when he was AAA. Whenever he was in AAA and ECW too, and then ECW, WCW, and then when he was just in WCW. So, Mysterio's like, it's an unprecedented phenom kind of situation. So, really good. So this remains number 1. This remains number 1 on the list.
Yeah, so far. I mean, I can't think of a match I like better than this. There's matches that I like and that deserve to be mentioned. You know, like even Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, I loved. The finish completely disqualifies it from being on this list, you know? Yeah. So Hulk Hogan versus The Rock, really cool. I love it. I would have been okay if they gave this 5 stars, if they gave that 5 stars. That's not as good of a wrestling match as this one is. Right. So, there's a lot of contenders. We really got to watch that WrestleMania 13 match. The 1997 Royal Rumble would be a lot of fun. Just to see fucking Jerry Lawler. Isn't that the Jerry Lawler one?
Yeah, that's the Jerry Lawler, the 5
Where
second.
he's like, watch this. And he gets kicked out. He's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna join this next year. I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
enter the Royal Rumble next.
Yeah, for bits, that's a 5-star match. So that's it. That's it this week, everybody. We appreciate you hanging out. Thank you so much for your feedback on the TikToks, and thank you for any feedback that you leave. But go ahead and follow us where Andrew said. Guess what? We're gonna be back next week with another deep dive that we're gonna figure out here. Thank you again. We love you and appreciate you. Wrestling over everything. We're out of here.
Mwah.